What's going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chuck right here at EJI Motoring headquarters, as you know. So today we got a little project that I'm about to get into. This is for the guys that want to do Honda Accord. If you're familiar with this Honda Accord, or if you ever own a Honda Accord, there's a problem that this Honda developed after a few thousand miles on them, and that is the VTC actuator gets worn out and it doesn't retain oil pressure like it should. When you crank the car in the morning, you will hear a loud rattle noise. It comes and it goes away quickly. Maybe it will last like 1 or 2 seconds and it goes away. This is a sign of a failed VTC actuator. It is the part that drives your cam, intake cam to be specific, and it advances and retards your timing for fuel efficiency and power on the engine. So this fails time to time after sometimes if you don't do your oil changes on time, and also if it has a lot of miles, that will cause it to fail. So today I want to show you guys how to do a VTC actuator on these Hondas, and it does it on the Honda 2.4 liter, the 4-cylinder engine. So I want to show you guys how you can replace this without having to remove the front timing cover. You can actually do this job with the engine in the car without having to remove the front cover. All you need to remove is the top valve cover, and you can access the chain. There's a process you take to do that. You can slip in that new sprocket without having to remove the entire chain and doing a whole chain job, which is going to take you more time. So this usually takes, for the first time, it might take you some time. I don't know. It all depends how fast and how mechanically inclined you are. It all depends. I can't tell you exactly how it's going to take you, but it might take you a while, because obviously if you're doing it for the first time, you want to take your time. But for me, it usually takes about 1.5, sometimes 1 hour. It all depends how fast I want to move on it. And you knock it out. But if you're doing the front cover, that's probably going to take you 4 or 5 hours job to do, and there's more things to take off and more mistakes to be made. So I want to show you guys how to do it successfully. So without further ado, let's get started. But before we do, I want you to go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, or follow us, whatever you find this video, whether on my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. So just follow it and support the channel. That's how we keep rolling and the channel keeps growing. It don't take nothing from you. Just right now you watching me, hit it right now you watching me. All right, for the ado, let's get to work. This particular one that does it is from the 08 all the way to the 2012. From the 2008 to the 12 4-cylinder, that's the ones that have these problems. Over here, I have the actuator. I have the VTC actuator. I had it soaked in oil since last night. You can see it soaked in oil. So this is what you need to do. So the first crank is not starting up dry. It needs to have oil loaded in it. This is what kills it, because of lack of oil. Over here, I went ahead and bought some valve cover gaskets. So if you're doing this job, I recommend getting you a valve cover gasket, because you're going to need that, because you're going to take off the valve cover. Unless, of course, you already done the valve cover before and it's still failing you, then don't worry about it. But if you haven't, go ahead and get you one, and make sure you get the one with the plug seals, so you can seal up the spark plug hole. And then get you some sealant, because you're going to need a liquid silicone on the edges of the valve cover too, and for the plates of the timing chain guide, you're going to remove it. So I'm about to show you guys. So Let's go. All right, guys, so I have the engine top cover off, you can see. So the next stage we need to do now is put this engine to top dead center, and that will bring the markings of the timing. I will show you guys when I turn it and set it to where it needs to be. On the crank pulley, there's a mark on the crank pulley that I need to line it up down there, and then I'm going to remove the plate. Let me show you guys. See, that's the plate cover for the timing chain tensioner. So that's the cover. I'm going to take that cover off and expose the timing chain tensioner. And then we are going to, there's a way we have to turn it. When we get it to top dead center, we back it up like 1 inch, and then I'm going to install a pin in the tensioner. It will retract when I back it up. It was going to retract, and then I would install a pin there, and that would keep it in place and relieve the tension on the chain. So let me see if I can see where the markings on the body is. It's pretty dirty, as you can. Alright, that's the tensioner. So now I'm gonna clean off a few dirts where the timing marking is, because I already can't see nothing. Alright, back again. So I have this top dead center compression stroke. We'll show you guys the timing mark. I got a timing mark right here. You can see that sprocket pointing is up that way, and the back cam, which is the exhaust, you can see it's pointing straight up. And there's these two line in the timing sprocket gear. They are facing each other. You can see that. Okay, so now we go to the bottom one on that sprockets for the crankshaft pulley. It needs to line up to that mark on the timing cover right there. Okay, put that on. Of course, like I showed you guys this one. Then what we do now is, okay, see, When it's all at the top dead center, let's show you guys again. When it's at the top dead center, that's the position I'm seeing it. That's on the crank, and it's there. You will see the timing chain guy. Tensioner. You will look like this. So now what we need to do is take this. Make sure you have your pin. This is the pin we're going to use to retain the tensioner. Okay, so leave it right here. Take this, what we use to turn the engine, and we're going to back it up just at 1 inch, or however you need to back it up to relieve the tension. So this is what we're gonna do. We back it up. Now you see a line back up to the hole on the body. You see? Now I line up to that hole now. On the body of the tensioner. So we take this and we insert it in that hole. Insert it right there. And now we go back to the line where we left. We backed it up. Now we have to go back to that line, that position that we need to be, and that is going to retain that tensioner in a release position. Right now that we backed it up, it compressed the tensioner a little bit in, and now we put the pin in. That's going to hold that tensioner in position. So when I move forward, it's going to hold that tensioner and relieve pressure from the chain. That's how I'll be able to get just enough slack that I need to be able to sneak out the chain from this timing system. So let me show you guys from the top. You can see how this is moved. So now we're gonna have to put it back. Okay, you can see that timing on that line, so we need to move it back to the position. All right, need to move it back to the position. Okay, there's the position. And now you see it is back to where it was before, and it's back here and back there. So now what we need to do is mark. We're gonna use a paint to paint this exact position on the chain. That's where we're going to place the new sprocket. We're gonna place it here, and we're gonna also paint this so we know what position it is on this one, just in case if it moves. And then I'm gonna take this off, and I will put a tie strap between the chain and this to hold this from ever coming off. That's extra security. I'm gonna put a tie strap on this right here, and then I'm going to remove this whole crank bracket. I'm gonna remove all of them. Make sure you put them in the position. They have markings on them. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So put them in the line. Do not mix the bolts. I usually take them off in assembly just the way the bolts are in them and lay them down. The only cam we are going to be removing at the end of the day is the intake cam, which is this one here that this is on. The cam on this side stays in the engine, and we're going to use a tight hook. Usually if you have 2 people, somebody can hold it and keep a good tension, but since I don't have anybody here, I'm going to use a bungee cord to hold this chain and loop it right on this engine, in this hood hook. So that's going to keep tension on it, because you cannot relieve the tension. If you relieve the tension and it drops, the job is messed up. You gotta take off the cover. So we cannot, when you are doing this, allow the chain to drop. So always keep tension on it at all time. You can get somebody, the best thing is usually get somebody to hold that chain while you swap out this is what we are changing. Now while you swap it out, okay? And you have to torque it to 84 foot-pound. That's what you torque it to. So I'm going to show you guys all the procedures. So now let's get started. Color this thing up nicely with a tie strap right here, and tie that chain in that way it's not gonna buck up and slide off. Very important. So now I got the back final sprocket there on the cover. I need to take that off and hold it down, and then hold the chain and slide that off. Okay, let me see if I can get me an assistant to hold this. When I remove it first, then you can hold it. When you hold it, you cannot let it drop. You cannot let it hang, nothing. Hold it tight the whole time. Hold it. Yeah, hold it right there. But don't use the other hand. Yeah, hold it right there. Hand. Use that hand. Hold it. Now use the other hand. Hold this part down. Hold it right here. Yeah, hold it down. Down. Yes, down. No, not like that. Just use your hand. Place like this. So that you don't pull that off. That's what I'm saying. Guys, we are here. So you're going to need a 24-inch millimeter wrench to put in the middle here. Now we're loosening it so it should be on this side. It's a 17. Get your impact and your 17. Put the socket. This is gonna hold it down, but wrap it because it's going to spread oil everywhere. So use something to cover this hole here, and then see, in oil. Right. Spray the oil everywhere. Take that off. Pull that off. Put to the side. Get our new one that's been soaking all night. We pull it to line up with the hole inside the can. That pin needs to be, make sure it's in that hole. I have a new bolt here. I'm going to install it. You don't have to change these bolts. The whole time I've been at the dealership, I don't remember us ever changing the bolts. We always reuse the original bolts. Put this wrench here that's going to support it, and then I'm going to turn on the torque wrench that's already preset to 83 foot-pound. Tighten it. Hard to hold this thing down. Now we're gonna lock it in place because it's on the unlock position. So we're gonna, now it's engaged. It's locked in now. So you have to torque it down in the unlock position. So now you twist it and that locks in, and now we're going back to install it. See where my finger is? Watch it. Is it on it? Should I go left or right? Right. This way or this way? This way or this way? This way. Is it on it?
Yeah, you are.
The line is on? You sure?
Yeah, you want to know.
Alright.
Left.
Another one?
This one.
Yeah, now he's on. We put it down just a little bit, just to hold it. You can let it go. Thank you. Let's see if we have it on the right marking. Yeah, knock everything off. All right, you can see one thing you have to be mind of when you first put it on, before putting this down, all of this, don't be so worried about these two things lining up, because if it's not all the way down, it's not going to be perfectly lined up. So as long as it's close to it, like this is, you good. And you're in the, you can see I'm back with the new one on that mark, and there too, still on there. So now all I need to do is put the rest of it, as I'm tightening it down, is going to reposition itself. Okay, That's the science behind that. All right, let's go ahead and do that. At this stage, we're going to torque this down, and I'm going to set this down to set it up to 16 foot-pounds. And we're gonna torque this down, starting from the middle. We're gonna walk this, go here, go here, go here, and finalize on this. Okay, we're gonna start from the midsection here. And I am moving on and to putting on the front cover. And don't forget to apply the liquid silicone on that edge right there and the edge in the back there. So right now what I'm about to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the pin. Okay, now that I'm done, come back here. Don't forget, take this off. And now we're going to rotate this engine about 2 turns to see, make sure everything is still lined up. And when we're done, we're going to clean all this up and put it the plate back on with a new sealant. So look at it. So we're going to turn this engine 2 turns and come back. So that's 2 turns of the crankshaft to get to 1 revolution of the camshaft. Okay, about to turn it. We are not worried about this paint mark on the chain because it's not going to line up again. What we are worrying about is these 2 here facing each other, and that crankshaft, you know, the sprockets or balancer actually at the point of the front cover, and this pointing up, 2 of them, and this facing each other. That's all we care about. This is it. So that's up here, that's up here. Those 2 are facing each other, as you can see. They are facing each other, and it's, oh, let's see. All right. I don't know if you can see it, but it's lined up down there in the front of that little piece. Sometimes that's how I took it off. It was a little bit past it, just for it to line up perfectly on the top. So I'm lining it up just like that. I didn't change the chain. You know, if you change the chain, it might line up perfect, or the timing tensioner, because you do have some type of wear on it. So it is a bit stretched out than it should, but it's not too stretched out that it won't work. So that's it. I got it all done. So what's remaining for me is put the cover back on now, and get this. Okay, put the cover back on, and then we're gonna start it up, and you hear the difference on how the engine starts up. All right.
So AMS only had one over a year. One chick.
On the bomb.
It was the zero. I wouldn't even try. I was saying, I was focused. I was so focused. Next guys, not improving my fashion.
Completed the job. Still got a few things loose on the mount. So at this point, I just want to go ahead and crank the engine to see what we fixed. And I recommend when you do this, go ahead and change the oil as you do this job. Change the oil at the same time. All right, let's go ahead. All right, no more rattle. That's the end of that story. So that's how you fix your VTC actuator on this part. All right, guys, as you can see, the car is running. I had the noise you hear a little bit was the power steering pump trying to clear up the air in the system from me disconnecting the line and rotating it. So you can hear the noise is gone. It's running good. So hey, for now I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for watching. Like I said, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification so I update you every time I got a new video in learning something. So hey, hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out. Keep on rolling, keep on wrenching. All right, guys, peace.